baby. You know what? Oh, man. You know what really sucks? It's actually because
Politics?
Politics suck. If I asked you how late is it right now, Dev, doesn't it feel like 10:30?
Oh, I would have told you 11 and bedtime.
What time is it? Bedtime.
It's 8:30. It's 8:30.
The night is young.
The night is young.
It feels
apparently.
old.
Yeah, we're probably gonna party. It's Lindsay's birthday. We're gonna go have a good time. What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Losers Lounge.
Man, I don't deserve to be here.
You're a loser, Dev. We're all losers.
Deserve got nothing to do with it. The Nuggets fall to the Chicago Bulls, 131 to 113, in a game that was not televised and presented itself a very big challenge for us personally, although we were able to catch up with bits and parts of the game as it went on. Then we caught the entirety of the second half. Yeah. Here to walk through, first of all, we're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook. Usually it's up in the top right corner. There it is. Use promo code DNVR. Lose money with Dev. How'd we do, Dev? How'd we do? How'd we do on that bet you said? You said under. Was there a lot of points scored tonight?
Defense was not what it was supposed to be. A lot of us are in preseason.
You were buying the top 5 defense?
A lot of us are in preseason mode. I was tricked, bamboozled, led astray.
Was the team missing their best defensive player? We'll talk about that. Over here, though, I got Harrison Wind.
How many bets does Dev have to lose in a row for me to take over the segment?
Dev?
I just pissed Dev off.
There's so many people around here that know how Dev gets down. I'm a gamer. You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta buy the dip with Dev.
You gotta buy the dip. I don't know, man. I think people knew how you used to get down.
People know that I'm a player prop guy. They know that I take into those type of things. Like now, it doesn't really matter. They just give you some like sucker stuff like that.
Player props is your thing.
That's my thing. I've always been, and then I know
that's how you've always been.
I know who's from strong at other things. I like if I'm like, hey, what's going to happen tonight? I'll go to you, Harrison, and you could give us what that is. I'm the player prop guy. I read into people.
The player prop guy.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Of course, there's also superstar Dev here, and as I mentioned, this was a weird one. A lot of things happened here. The Nuggets didn't guard anyone. That defense is not a thing that happened tonight. Michael Porter got some shots off, made a lot of them. Michael Porter had a Jokic-esque night in terms of like I thought he missed more shots than he looked at. Then you look at it and it was actually pretty good, pretty efficient. Bones Highland had something of a bounce back tonight, getting 24 points. No shortage of things to talk about. Jamal Murray also left the game a little bit early. I imagine for precautionary reasons, but hey, man, it's preseason. We won't read too much into it. Harrison, all those storylines here, where do you want to start? What to you, in your opinion, is the biggest takeaway?
Man, Michael Porter Jr., 20 points in 22 minutes, and he missed all of last season. On offense, the guy looks like the same player to me. He's still a bucket. Every shot he takes, I still think is going in.
Same. The only only Jokic is the only guy. Well, Jokic has a little floater mid-range like that.
No matter how contested MPJ is, I still feel confident every time he puts something up. And 20 points on 8 of 17 shooting. He might have given up 20 points on defense tonight just individually. He did have a very good defensive possession guarding Zach LaVine. That did happen. I did take note of it. Yeah. I'll have to go back and see if there were more of those. But on offense, he looks like the same just lethal scorer as he did last season.
I mean, it's not even as last season. We have 2 seasons of Michael Porter data.
Last time he was healthy.
I know what you're saying, but what I'm building on your point here, saying that we have 2 seasons of data with Michael Porter. We have this 9 games that I don't count because he clearly was injured and then tried to play through it, didn't work out. We have 2 seasons where he just is always efficient. This was a bad game for him offensively. He was off. He missed some shots tonight. Right. You look down, if you would ask me what did Michael Porter shoot, I would have been like 8 of 24. I don't know, something like that. 8 of 17, still efficient. That's like an average efficient night given what it was. That's how incredible of an offensive player he was. So I'm with you on this. Like, I mean, we'll talk about some of the bads or whatever, but not that many players go 4 for 8 often. He went 4 of 8 from 3-point line on a bad night.
Yeah, the funny thing about like MPJ is like if I was to like had went in a coma for a full year and I like seen him play and then just came back, it doesn't look like he's added anything. It doesn't look like he's lost anything.
No, that's what I'm saying.
On both ends.
He's
he looks
literally
like
the
exact same players
on offense and defense.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like it's not just the offensive.
Same
like,
dude.
He has not changed at all.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's a good and a bad thing for sure.
Yeah.
But like right now, we're not gonna harp on the negatives. Like he's still a bucket. He's still knocking down shots at a high rate. He can still get himself going whenever he wanted. This was a game I wanted to see what he looked like without Jokic and just see like if they're gonna run the offense through him. Well, they did.
He
They
kind of had that look in his eye where I feel like he was like, all right, this is my time.
Yeah.
This is my
time.
This is my game.
I've been waiting my whole life for Jokic to be out. Here we go.
Yeah. But it really felt like he was definitely in control after Jamal Murray left the game, but just kind of the centerpiece today.
Yeah, the ball seemed to find him a lot. He seemed to find the ball a lot. And he's going to get his shots up. In that first stint, he had, 10 shots?
10 shots in the first quarter in like 9 minutes. That's unbelievable to get 10 shots up.
He
It's
was
like
on
when the
pace.
teacher leaves the classroom and everybody goes crazy for like 5 minutes. Jokic left the classroom tonight.
I used to do this. So in my class of my DECA class, my business class in high school, my teacher would always leave to go do something all the time. And we had this video. It's called
suspicious.
the ESPN. It was like the Centuries highlight video. Every time he leave, I would go and put it on for the class. And he like thought it was so funny. He'd never get in trouble. I put that thing in there 100 times and he'd always come back and be like,
See, that's hilarious. See, speaking of trouble, when the teacher would leave the classroom, listen, when the teacher would leave the classroom with me, I would show my ass. But I would also I would tell my mom like, hey, the teacher left the classroom for a long time. All of the other kids were like, doing bad stuff. I sat there and I listened the entire time. Mom came up to the school like, hey, why do you keep on leaving? It was like not even that long, but I exaggerated the whole story, and it backfired on me. So I was in trouble.
you overtold. That's what happened there. You
Every
learned a
single
lesson
time.
there. That's what you were like, Mom, I'm never
Just
telling you
don't talk too
anything
much
again.
now.
Don't
I
say anything.
learned.
How was school? It's good. What'd you learn? Nothing. Perfect.
Every single time.
Through it. Yeah, Michael Porter, 8 of 17 tonight. And the 3-point shooting is the thing that's so... Michael Porter, I think, it's so funny, man, because we always talk about how you see how good he is and how impactful he is with his flaws and everything, but you just keep thinking like how perfect he would be without those flaws.
Oh, sure.
And it does feel like the more that time goes on, the more you're just like, the margin, it's going to be marginal.
Yeah.
Like he's never going to be a fully different player.
Yeah.
He's just going to turn into Klay Thompson. Like, he's just going to be who he is. And I honestly, we were talking about this earlier. As I was watching and rewatching that first game, when I was watching, I was like, I think Jokic is resigned to it. I honestly, when people are like, Jokic needs to adjust or the team needs to adjust, I honestly think he is, and people don't even recognize it. He's like trying to be like, I just have to do different things for him, and I'm trying to do it. And it's a little subtle because they're still working out that chemistry. But you see it tonight, first of all, getting 17 shots up is impressive, even though it was only 7 in the quarters, 2 and 3. It is a feat in itself.
It's just like with a lot of players, so some guys can enter the league as terrible defenders and turn themselves into, average, above average defenders. Guys can go from like really bad to really great. I feel like usually if you're a really awful defender, like when you get into the NBA, you're probably not going to turn yourself into like this above average defender. That's just not how it happens for most people.
That's true.
And like we were just talking about, Dev, he looks like the same guy as last year on defense as well. And it sucks. I thought he gave good effort at times defensively tonight. There were definitely some possessions where he looked really engaged, in the right spot positionally. He had that good possession on Levine, like I said, but
You're going to keep coming back to that one.
it was a great. Let me tell you, it was a great possession. Great possession. I'm gonna go and find it after. Great possession. He got the stop, and then I think immediately fucked up something. But it's he's just still got a ways to go there.
Dev, what's your big takeaway? So his was Michael Porter. What would you say your big takeaway from this game is?
Mine's is Bones Highland.
Okay.
And I think it's a mixture of both Bones Highland and
Also
MPJ.
4 of 8 from 3, by the way, tonight. 7 of 14, 4 of 8 from 3, 24 points.
Yeah, like if you think about it, if Jokic is not there, who are the two best offensive players and how is the offense going to operate without him?
Look at that, the king of the game.
That's what I would have to see. I would have wanted to see if is MPJ going to be aggressive, and also is Bones going to be aggressive, especially with Jamal Murray not being able to play because he went down. Now it's like, are the other guys going to still be able to do their thing? Is Bones going to be able to bounce back after a very slow, very bad game actually, where he was called out, and how would he respond? He responds by still running the offense, but also being a lot more aggressive offensively. So knocking down his shot. He's hitting bank shots at this point just because he's getting shots up, trying to run the offense. It is looking a little bit rusty at times for me. Like, he doesn't look like what I expected him to look.
Well, let me ask you for this, because I agree with you. Like, Bones, as a scorer, looks fantastic. In some of the other areas, and I think some of this has to do with just the combination of players. We'll see how this sticks. Here's my thing. I wonder if we're going to have to pick between Bones, the score first guy, or Bones, the point guard first. And I almost feel like that second unit needs a little point guard. And he can do it, but I think he's so much better when he's looking to score. And so I'm looking at that, and I'm just thinking that second unit might be a work in progress. But I kind of want Bones in kill mode, as he says. What are you thinking about when you have the ball in your hands? Kill. I like him when you can tell when he's focused on that.
Yeah.
And that's where he's at his best.
And he looked like he got into that zone. Like, he has to tap into it at times. I felt like he was trying to be point guard, had a couple of turnovers. Then he's like, no, I have to get back to, like, my bread and butter. I need to score the basketball. And that's when he gets into his rhythm. And you saw that where it was just kind of a takeover. You look up at the box score, you don't know, he already has 20. You're like, hold on, when did that come? But that's because that's just the type of player that he is. Like, he's just an electric player that could get it done in different ways. So I do think that that's going to be a balance. But it's good to have these type of games where you could try to score, but also you could try to facilitate and just trying to find that blend, especially with different units.
I think Bones was interesting. I don't know if Bones was good tonight or not. Like, it was more he just scored, which is good, and he didn't play a lot, and he played more tonight. So, it's preseason, man. Awarding a king of the game to a 20-point loss in preseason is like, come on, we're not going to argue over this.
Yeah.
We spent very little time determining it. Michael Porter,
I mean, Jack White was a +4 tonight.
I love that.
Just saying.
Only guy. Hey, man, you're not going to have to work that hard to talk me into
I
Jack
wasn't
White.
consulted for this DraftKings king of the game tonight.
You were. It was in the chat. You were silent. Michael Porter, Bones, not my takeaway. My takeaway is, what did Denver go out and do this offseason? What did they add?
Get defenders.
They got some defenders, right? Especially point of attack defenders, right? We're going to add KCP. We're going to add Bruce Brown. We're going to add Christian Brown. We're going to make a commitment to it. No Jokic tonight. Jokic, the weak link defensively, right? We got to
So
cover
they
him.
say.
So they say. 131 points tonight. Now, some of this was that, like...
The Bulls got ridiculously hot.
Yeah, they shot 53% from three. They went 15 of 28. So they did get really hot from three. But here's the thing. A lot of those threes were late, by the way. I mean, they made, like, a lot at the end. They were winning even before this ridiculous hot shooting. But my thing is, it doesn't matter. Like, I know it's 1 game sample size, now 2 game sample size, but I've been very unimpressed with the Denver Nuggets' defense this year.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that scares me, is it's like you traded offense for defense, and it's made no impact on your defense. Again, it's only 2 games, but to me, that's my top story. 1 game, random. 2 games, all right, it's a sample size.
Yeah, I agree. And we heard coming into the season that the Nuggets want to be a top 5 defense. Top 5 defense. That was, that was one of the big talking points around this team at training camp. They are a long ways away from a top 5 defense. A top 5 defense, based on what we've seen through these 2 games, is a pipe dream for this group. I think this is the best defensive team of the Jokic era. And I didn't have to think that hard about that.
When you're just talking about personnel, but this is the thing we always analyze.
It should be the best defensive team of the Jokic era.
Sure.
They have the players to be that. Yeah.
Right.
And we just haven't seen it so far.
Yeah, you got to actually say that disclaimer. This is what it should be.
Right.
But, like, will they get there? And really, it starts early. You're supposed to say that these preseason games don't matter. But, like, there's some things that you have to hang your hat on. And, like, playing hard, competing, not just letting teams destroy you. You can't just turn on a switch where, it's just going to come on. Like, Jokic the other night when he's just, like, toying around, he can turn on a switch because, we know what he could be at his best. This team, you don't know what they could be at their best, especially defensively. So it's important to, like, take these preseason games and actually take them serious, or you're wasting your time right now. You're not supposed to give up 131 or whatever, 130 points in the preseason game.
A 45-point second quarter is the one that, because, it would be one thing if they gave up 45 in the fourth when Jack White was out there. Or that. No, man, this was 45 points on the starters, by all intents and purposes. So to me, that's the thing. Again, it's not that big of a deal. It's preseason. You're supposed to have these ups and downs. You shouldn't read too much into it. But it's one of those things where there's 3 preseason games left, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't think Murray and Porter are going to play in all of those. I don't know if they're going to play in the next one.
Or Jokic.
So, like, you probably have 1 or 2 more tune-ups for those guys. And I'll say the same for most likely KCP. I don't know if Bruce Brown will play in everyone. But either way, there's not a lot of games for us to say is this team kind of figuring things out? They're 0 for 2 so far, and not a big deal, but again, it means something. And I saw somebody in the chat say, "Oh, don't worry, game 1 they're going to lock in." There's no reason to believe that. There's, again, that's my big takeaway, and I'm sure it's Michael Malone's big takeaways. He's got to be walking away from these 2 games going, defense is not just going to happen for us.
How many Hubies tonight do you think, Adam?
Man,
they had 25 in game 1.
I will say this: the Hubies, which if you don't know, Michael Malone has made this for when a shot goes up. What are you doing? If you're standing still, not doing anything, you earned a Hubie.
You either have to crash the glass or get back on defense.
Go get the rebound or get back to prevent the fast break. And I don't know that. I think there were more Hubies in game 1 than there was in this one. To me, this was
the Bulls just made so many shots tonight.
The Bulls made shots, but you know what else happened? Just perimeter defense. I didn't think was that great. And I will say, Aaron Gordon. We'll talk about him next. I actually have been impressed with Aaron Gordon. He's one guy that for me I feel kind of good about. There's guys he's good against, guys he's not. DeMar DeRozan cooked him tonight, man.
Cook him. Them guys with those good footwork, good footwork, they really do a number on him. Like they don't see him. Really is what it is. And you expected, especially early in the season, that he would be like a little bit more spry and like try to like take that ownership, especially being the defensive guy. You go and get all these defensive players. He's the guy that's supposed to be the guy, so you expect him to step up and just take on those type of challenges, at least make things tough. I don't feel like he did, and that's just not a good look, especially if you like strive to be a top 5 defense.
Yeah. So again, preseason, you shouldn't read too much into anything, but to me, that's my big takeaway. Defense. Well, they got Phoenix coming in on Monday. I just hope that we see a game. Maybe Yoke plays, maybe he doesn't, but I just hope we have at least one game where I'm like, okay, there it is, a good defensive rhythm. You're saying no to Yoke already?
I doubt he plays Monday.
Well, here's one reason he might not play. Jamal Murray exited this game after just 13 minutes. Why? A thigh contusion.
Yeah.
A thigh contusion. We'll talk about that on the other side. That easily, I can't believe it was none of our top takes was Murray leaves
thigh
games.
soreness.
Thigh soreness. I love that they're being so coded with this.
That was not a thigh.
They should come
pretty
out
soon. They're going to be just lower body injury like the freaking
That
NHL.
was a hamstring. It just looked
He
like
grabbed his hamstring.
He grabbed the
grabbed
back.
his
He grabbed his
hamstring.
Oh my God, the Nuggets already. It's nothing, everybody. Jokic's wrist is fine. It's a thigh contusion, not a hamstring. Like, come on, man.
We'll see. Ivaca TV.
You guys know
maybe
that?
you're watching this show on Ivaca TV. If you want to watch Altitude Sports, if you want to watch the Nuggets this season, get set up with Ivaca TV. It's affordable, no contracts, no catches, no hidden fees. Go to evaca.tv/DNVR. Get Ivaca for just $25 a month plus a $5 receiver fee. Look, that's way cheaper than cable. You have your internet, it's like $50, $60. You get Ivaca, just $25 a month. Boom, you're saving a ton of money. Way cheaper than cable.
Way cheaper
and
than
you can
football.
watch the Nuggets. So evaca.tv/DNVR, Ivaca TV, also where our Serbia documentary is premiering, and it's going to be the only place you can watch it for a little bit as well. So get set up with them today. Next, DraftKings Sportsbook. The NFL, it's in full action, in full swing at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. We're talking touchdowns, big plays, even bigger wins. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. I hope you didn't bet those $5 on the Broncos last night. DraftKings Sportsbook also has stepped up same game parlays. Put a bunch of legs together in your same game parlay, get an even bigger payout. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. When you place a $5 bet on any football game, that's code DNVR only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
All right, we ready for a little Michael Malone quote?
Give it to me. Hook it into my veins.
Well, according to Katie Wingy, Michael Malone pulled, Murray walked out of the game. He was grabbing his hamstring.
Oh.
According to Michael Malone, grabbing his hamstring.
That's what I saw as well.
I think that's what everybody saw. It came out as a thigh. Is it possible there's like a new PR person that doesn't know the body parts?
No. That's definitely not what's going on here.
Sometimes I forget the bones. Like what is the two bones that are right here?
I mean, technically, I guess your hamstring is part of your thigh.
I'm just saying, do you know, like, there's these ones, and then there's this one. This is the
Fibia?
tibia.
The fib tip.
The fib tip. And then these ones. Do you know
Radius
these
and the
ones?
ulna.
There you go. You got it. You
Because I broke my radius and ulna.
This guy is over here, knows his bones.
Yeah, my
Really
dad's
good.
a chiropractor.
Is this
He loved that one.
himself?
I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, me neither.
Wasn't that funny? Coach Michael Malone tonight. Poor defensive effort. And he went on to say, I got on our guys this morning about transition defense, doing drills. Guys looked at me like I had 3 heads. It's a classic
He's said a
Malone.
version of this quote every year. Every preseason, I think.
He's got the same. He also was asked if there was any growth. He said they didn't show much growth or improvement after game 1. So Michael Malone agrees with us. Defense, a real problem. A real problem for this one
It's
so
been a
far.
rough couple games.
Nowhere near. He went on to say they're nowhere near where they need to be. This, of course, according to Katie Wingy, who is reporting from Chicago. Jamal Murray did leave the game, though. We just mentioned hamstring thigh. I think it's hamstring. I'm just going to go ahead and call it. I think it's a hamstring.
It's like if my left wrist is hurting, but I said it's a left arm injury.
You think no? A thigh is a different part.
But isn't just your upper leg?
We're not going to
considered
do
the
this.
thigh
We're not
from
gonna
the
do
knee
this.
up.
We're not going to do this. So here's the thing. I mean, who knows? Again, just like with the yoke wrist thing, who knows? I mean, we'll wait and see. It didn't look like he was particularly.
It didn't
hampered,
look serious. Yeah,
But at the same time, here's what I keep thinking: preseason was important for Murray. Malone talked about he's probably only going to play 3, maybe 4 games. Today counts because he got 13 minutes.
Yep.
But he didn't play that long.
Yeah.
This isn't like he got that much of a ramp up to the regular season. How many games does he play from here on out, in your opinion?
I mean, he still needs to get some game time action. You can't
I agree.
count this game as one. I think that they're going to, if he's able to play, they're going to let him play in another one, especially because they wanted him to play 3 quarters. He did not get to play much at all. So I know that he's going to be like itching to get back out there and just like be able to get that type of rhythm. So I wouldn't be shocked to even see him play when everyone else is not playing. Just that last game, like as a tune-up game to just run a little bit. But also it becomes tricky because, you know, he's going to want to start the season
Right.
as well. So this does like put a wrinkle in things where you have to like make some kind of tough decisions. But I know he wants to play, actually play.
I agree. He definitely needs just some more minutes to get comfortable again. But I'm looking at the schedule now. Phoenix on Monday.
Yeah.
Maybe they hold him out of that just because of this injury tonight.
In a weird way, like, think about it. Yoke, unclear if he'd be ready Monday. Murray,
I'm
unclear.
just thinking Yokes might be done for the preseason.
Really?
Yeah. What's the point?
I don't know. Get the other players used to playing with him.
Yeah. And so then they have the Clippers Wednesday. I think that'd be a game he does play in. Then your last preseason game is in
Golden
Chase
State
Center.
In Chase Center.
And it's also the last preseason game where usually you rest your starters. So, like, worst case scenario, we might only be looking at him playing in one more preseason game.
Yeah.
That Wednesday matchup against the Clippers. I would love him to play in 2 more, but we'll see about Monday.
Again, none of this stuff really truly matters. Teams find their rhythm in the
long
regular season. It's a long season, and honestly, the preseason teams want 3 preseason games anyway. If you ask Michael Malone how many preseason games do you want, they say 3. They don't want 5. So I don't think it's a big deal at the end of the day, but it is one of those things where I just would have liked to have had a little bit more of a feel good ramp up. You know,
I just
here or there.
wanted one half where the starters just clicked. That's what I came into preseason
we got
hoping
one
for.
stint though. We did get one stint.
We got one stint.
And so that's not nothing. Aaron Gordon, we've already talked about tonight. Is there anybody else that sticks out to you? We go down to the bench now.
I mean, I got another takeaway.
All right, let me hear
And
it.
it's the bench. The bench is a mess. For again,
minus 19.
I've
for
got
Zeke
very
tonight.
little confidence in this bench right now. I'm confident in Bones Highland. Zeke Naji did not play well tonight, I didn't think. I thought he played pretty well in the first preseason game. Jeff Green is Jeff Green. Bruce Brown is kind of an odd fit, I think. I think Bruce Brown needs to be playing a lot more with the starters. He's not playing at all with the starters, but I think you want to be playing Bruce Brown with like Michael Porter and Nikola Jokic when he's out there. Davon Reed is Davon Reed. It's just that group doesn't give you a lot of confidence right now. It's just I'm getting the same vibes as last year.
Oh, wow, not the same vibes as last year. That would be insane.
Similar. Where it's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, a big thing for me, like there might not be a better place than Denver for guys like KCP and Brown. because they're supposed to be this like off-season splash and make a change, and they really haven't. I know it's 2 preseason games, but like defense isn't really there. They're supposed to, there's one that's in the second unit. Also, KCP never gets talked about. He's just kind of around the entire time.
He went 2 of 3 tonight at least. I mean, at least made some shots.
Yeah.
20 minutes, 3 shots. 4 assists.
But I feel like I expected a little bit more. Just like, I think that's what it is.
I think it's because Jokic wasn't out there tonight. Like, Jokic found KCP on a lot of those looks he had in that first game.
Yeah, that could be the case. But even when we talk about that second unit, because that's what we're talking about right now, I think that I just expected Braun to like just fill in a couple of holes, be able to knock down some open threes when they come his way, find a way to get open. I don't feel like there's any separation. He kind of looks like everyone else on the bench right now, and I just kind of expected him to at least like make his stamp defensively, as well as like a Christian Braun too, which, I mean, he's a young guy, but you just think that there's going to be some plays that you could like, okay, that sticks. That's something that you can build around.
I would agree with you guys. The bench, I mean, to me, the number one thing, if I'm like saying, where's your mind at after 2 preseason games? Number 1, defense. Number 2 would be, I'm with you. The bench hasn't shown me a whole lot. Now, some of this I do think is by design. Malone benching Bones the last game felt like, you're playing with house. It's almost like taking a pitch, the first pitch you didn't swing at, but you're like, I've got plenty more. Now you're 2 preseason games in, and I'm like, man, I don't know what that second unit is. I don't know what their identity is supposed to be. Is Bones need to be more aggressive as a scorer? Does he need more control? Do we need to move the pieces around here or there? I don't know, and that part is a little bit concerning. Zeke tonight, playing a lot of minutes, 20 minutes, which is about as many as anybody played tonight.
2 rebounds.
2 rebounds. I mean, I talked about this. He now, through 2 preseason games, has 3 defensive rebounds. He had 5 offensive rebounds in that first game, which is great. I'm not trying to take that away from him. But defensive rebound, when you talk about where is he most needed, it's going to be on the defensive rebounds. And if he got 2 tonight, that's not very many. We got the sex spots.
The Bruce Brown thing for me is what I'm hung up on. I was so excited about Bruce Brown. I love him as a player. Brooklyn, he was kind of playing like the 4 and the 5. He just, I'm just not noticing him, and I don't think he's having the impact that I or the Nuggets expected so far.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's that pop. Like,
and I think a way to do that would be playing him with the starters. But
yeah. I mean, it's early on, but I really thought that the name would like come out a lot more. Where you're like, okay, that was like a really good rotation, or like that's, like him making sure that guys are at the right spot, or, just like little things. Like, it is times that he's just invisible that I'm just like, not bad things are happening, but not good things as well. But I think that a guy that's like so, everything is like around the defense, I'll be like, oh, okay, he's going to be the guy that can slow him down. He's going to be the guy that they put on DeMar DeRozan when he gets hot and going, where they're just going to give him a different look and give him that challenge to just say, like an example piece, like, hey, this is how you're supposed to guard a DeRozan. This is how you're supposed to slow down, Caruso when he gets into a rhythm, and just like prove a point. And I just don't see that right now. And I think that I'm just like alarmed by that.
Yeah,
I just want more.
I see somebody in the comment says, does anybody remember any teams as preseason? It's a funny question because, look, point taken. I do remember a few. One of them was it last year or the year before when the Lakers didn't win a single game in the preseason and then they ended up sucking it? And it was like everybody kept saying it's just the preseason, but all the problems that were there were the exact problems that were there in the regular season. And then one other preseason that stands out to me, and it only stands out to me because my buddy Ethan Strauss, I call him, my buddy, my guy,
your buddy.
I asked him like a week ago because he picked the Warriors in 2015 to win it, and he was the only guy. And I was like, "What made you pick him?" And he said, "I just watched him in the preseason." He's like, "I knew I was high on them because I saw how they ended the year, and I watched them in preseason, and they were doing all the stuff in every game that we saw them do in the regular season. The ball's popping, they're making threes, they had this new system, and it was like you watch them, and they're just great." And he's like, so I picked them. I was like, if they're beating everyone by 20. So I say that to say, again, preseason doesn't necessarily mean something, but there are sometimes positive or negative indicators that give you a little bit of hope or a little bit of this. I was really hoping that we were going to see that. Now, we haven't really seen Murray, Jokic, Pimpy. We haven't seen enough of it. So again, especially there's a caveat with this Nuggets team. But I really was hoping and continue to hope that we just get something from the, at some point in the preseason where you go, there it is.
Yep.
That's the thing. That's how they're going to do this.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like we have that so far. Let's go to the end of the bench real quick and talk about some of these guys. Jack White got into the game tonight, 6 minutes, 2 points, 3 rebounds, and he out-rebounded Zeke Naji tonight.
Oh, man.
In 6 minutes.
I mean, I'm not trying to make that.
He also
unfair
out-rebounded
comparison.
Jeff Green.
Well, Jeff Green's not a rebounder either, and this is another thing. Like,
I mean, do you know who you're talking to
Yeah,
here?
Yeah,
of
the
course.
wild thing is they're like both backup centers. Like you're gonna need your center to grab some boards.
Peyton Watson played 7 minutes. He went 3 of 5 from the field. Had
I like
7
Peyton
points.
Watson.
I like Peyton Watson too.
I like P-Watt.
Yeah, this was like a good like he had flashes in this
Yeah,
game.
he
Like,
did
you,
flash.
You got to see the athleticism, like that dunk, like that was like super solid. I feel like he's very active. So he has plays on defense where like, you know, like at least it's something to work with. He's making guys work. He's gonna go and alter a shot, get a steal or a block or something. That he's just playing hard. But I really do feel like he's getting a lot more confident. The game is starting to come to him because this was a guy that I was just like, okay, he's just not ready. But you're starting to see, like, you know, him learn where to be on the court and just trying to make plays. He makes the most out of his, like, small
Yeah.
opportunities.
And I think he's still a ways away. I don't think he's going to do anything
Right,
this
yeah,
year.
right.
But for him to flash in the preseason, I think is a really encouraging sign after Summer League where we saw a lot of discouraging things. I'm buying P-Watt stock. Give it to me.
There you go. It's very cheap right now. Christian Braun, 7 minutes. He got his first field goal tonight, guys. One of 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cut to the basket, and he finished it. I still like Christian Braun. Like, I'm worried about his confidence. He needs to score. Players have ruined their chances. We have made light of Tyler Lydon as this guy that just sucks. I honestly think this. What was Tyler Lydon's? Why didn't he stick? He might just not have been good enough. I don't know. But that was the least confident person I've ever seen step on an NBA court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember in Summer League when he kept record scratching wide open threes? In
Right.
Summer League.
Like, dude, you're a shooter. This is what you do.
If you're open, also it's Summer League. None of these dudes like Devonta Purcell's out there taking shots, and he's like yielding to him. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, man! Like you're out there, you're the first round draft pick. Just let it fly. Nobody's gonna get mad at you for taking shots, and he wouldn't do it.
Right.
He was so nervous. Christian Braun, in a little bit of, it's not quite that bad, but there is a little bit of like, hey man, somebody needs to be in his ear of like, whatever it is, don't lose your confidence. That's the one thing. You got to fake confidence. If you
Yeah,
have
I
to
think
be in this
Michael
league.
Malone knows that because I remember after the first preseason game where he went 0-6,
Yeah.
and Malone made it a point. I'm sure he brought it up to him, obviously, but made it a point to bring it up in his post game. And when he said, I told Christian, like, I love it. Keep shooting. Keep letting it fly.
And it's funny, though, too, about Christian Braun, because what did we hear about him? You know, what was the scout on him?
That he was like high confidence. He was like a
Trash
competitor.
talker.
Trash
Yeah, I was about to say
talker,
competitor that
man.
really wanted to go
Other
after
teams
everybody.
are going to hate him, and we're going to love it. I'm like, I don't see any of that.
Nothing.
He's timid out there.
Nobody, I don't feel like other teams are like, man, I hate that guy. He's so in our face.
Other teams are like, wait, who's Braun?
Braun is Braun. So he needs to get a little bit more of that dog in him, man.
Yeah, he does. I think he's got it, and things are probably just going a little fast for him right now. I think he'll settle in.
I think so, too. I don't have any notes for Ish Smith. I don't have any notes for DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan almost had a double-double tonight, 7
Well,
and 10.
here's the note on DeAndre Jordan. Tonight was a huge opportunity for Zeke Naji
Yeah.
with that second unit. Zeke Naji played 20 minutes tonight. Like, this was his chance to see how he vibed and meshed with that bench group. And I don't think he did anything tonight to kind of lock down that backup center job.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Like this, like the preseason is supposed to be like those small competitions and like different looks. Like there was a reason that DeAndre Jordan like led the team in minutes tonight. Like he played
funny.
hard. At least he had 10 rebounds in the game.
Yep.
And those are the small things that you need. He also scored. You know, so like he filled up the box score. It doesn't look
He
pretty,
also had 4 turnovers.
but it's also productive, and it's because he wants to pass for whatever reason. He thinks
Oh,
he's a passer.
he's got
Man,
the
he-
Jokic disease.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and I respect it. You know
Yeah.
what? He's out there. He's like, I'm trying to do this. This is
That
hard.
backdoor he tried to throw it against the Thunder had no
He had no damn
chance.
business doing it. But really though, like
I
that,
like DeAndre. I can't not like him. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. He's won me over. He's charmed the hell out of me.
like, but yeah,
what
that's
he
like
does.
a competition that
man.
I'm sure that Malone wanted to see how that was going to shake up, and Zeke did not make his point in this type of game,
Yeah.
and DeAndre did. So 0-0.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. That wraps up all my thoughts on this game. I will actually have one last thought. This game not televised. We had to do the illegal stream thing. We were at the bar trying to like airplay it, and that's why it kept cutting in and out for us. Monday's game is on altitude. I don't believe the last 2 are televised again for Denver. So once again, Wednesday and Friday, we're going to have to come up with a scheme, which just sucks, man. Like, we always lament that the Nuggets don't have as much popularity as they should have in the city of Denver. But it's like, come on, man. It's a preseason team. People are getting excited. People are trying
This
to...
is the most important season in Denver Nuggets history coming up.
People at the bar tonight, like, all excited for the game. And here we are trying to huddle around my laptop to watch it because it's like... Guys, it's not the bar's fault. It's not on television. It's not anywhere. We have to have this little crazy stream. It's the only way we could watch it. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, let's do a little Stonk report. It's been 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks into the preseason. We got 1 more week to go. Let's do a little Stonk report.
Breckenridge Brewery, they got a birthday coming up, 32 years young. To celebrate, Breck Brew is throwing a weekend-long hootenanny.
Started tonight.
Oh, it did start. No, tomorrow.
No, it started tonight, and then it goes into tomorrow.
This says October 8th and 9th.
They know that is correct.
Okay. This weekend at Breckenridge Brewery at their Littleton location, national acts like the Spin Doctors and local favorites Railroad Earth rocking out. So this weekend, Breck Brew at their Littleton location. Check out the link in the description or go to breckbrew.com for more details on tickets and their artist lineup. Travis Legal offices. Look, dealing with a car crash, dealing with all that stuff is such a headache. You need somebody that you can go to get all that stuff sorted out for you, to make that process as easy and as stress-free as possible. Travis Legal offices, there are guys. That's who we go to right now. Travis Legal offices has attorneys who were educated locally here at DU and University of Colorado Law School, and a staff that has more than 35 years of experience in handling personal injury cases. So call the Travis Legal offices today. Their number is 303-766-8766. You get a free consultation on your personal injury matter. 303-766-8766. You can also go online, travislegaloffices.com. Their motto is respect, response, results. And Travis Legal, they hold up to that at all times. So reach out to them today. They're the lawyers you should go to.
Peter asked, does the bar not have NBA League Pass? The game was on League Pass. We do. It's blacked out locally, even though there's no local broadcast. It's the dumbest thing there is. It's blacked out. We tried to pull it up, and it had the blackout thing. So absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what to do. You guys ready for a little Stonk report?
Let's do it.
It's like a little mid preseason Stonk report. We're going to go line by line. Go through the fellas there. Oh, my God. Look at our beautiful graphic. All right, we're going to start with the man himself. Nikola Jokic, stunk up or down? Dev.
Down.
Oh, he's coming in hot. He's coming in hot.
No.
Jokic is stunk down. Sell. Everybody sell.
Really, I think that they was trying to find reasons to rest Yoke, and I just think that they found one. So I'm like
the wrist is nothing.
I'm starting to change like my idea of the wrist. I just feel like he needed a time to rest, and I think that this is the time for it.
You changed your opinion from the pregame show to now?
Yes, yes, because I really sat and thought about it. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with him. Like, they're not stressing about it. They're pretty honest when it comes to Yoke too.
Oh, they're so honest.
So I'm just like, you know what? It's nothing. But I'm down because like he's not playing right now, and when he comes to play, I'm going to be excited and over the moon. So then I'll be right back all the way up.
Yeah. Stock up. I can't say stock down to Nikola Jokic.
That's how I feel. I'm with you on this one.
I can't put that sentence together.
Not going to say that I'm not at all worried about the risk, but I'm also not going to take his stock down until he doesn't play. Although I should say he's averaging 0 points per game at the moment.
0.
So
yeah,
I guess
that'd be a little dip.
Jamal Murray.
Stock up. He's playing basketball again, and that's like an exciting thing. I am a little bit worried about the hamstring. I seen him pull. He held it. He held it and went straight to the locker room.
But it's a thigh.
There ain't no thigh. And also, why would you go straight to the locker room? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But I am excited for the fact that he's back with the team and being able to play. So come on, be a thigh.
Stock up for me. I thought he looked better than I thought he would against the Thunder tonight. Just kind of looked like another guy when he was out there. But I think he's in a good space. I think he's going to enter this season with the right frame of mind, the right confidence. I'm feeling good about Jamal Murray still.
People are saying Mike Singer's reporting that Jamal Murray's quote is, "I'm good, nothing serious." So there you go. With Jamal with me, what will I go? Stock up or down? I'm going to say neutral. I still don't have a read on it. I know that's a cop-out, but I just have not seen enough to know. I mean, tonight he went 0-4. I would like to see, if he doesn't get to play, if we don't see Jamal Murray just have one. He had it a little bit in that second stint. That's where we saw it. I need one more of those, and then I'll be able to say, okay, I'm not at all worried, ready for this or that. If he doesn't have one of those, we go into the regular season. Like, if we don't see Murray again, opening night he plays, how many points is he scoring? If we've seen Jamal Murray for it, 6 points.
6.
So your second best player, you think would get 6 points on opening night? That would to me would be a not great. That would not be not great.
Yeah.
All right, Michael Porter Jr.
Neutral.
Really?
He's the same player as we just discussed. His stock can't go up or down if he's the same guy.
All right.
Neutral. Really? He had a whole damn year
Oh,
to
you
just
guys are
like
killing me.
to learn something, to learn little things, to learn the offense. You don't have anything else to do. So like, it's still crazy to me that he's still taking tough shots. Doesn't make me happy when he
not
shoots.
surprised by that at all.
I'm excited when he shoots the ball every single time, but also I wanted him to be able to be like, read what's happening out there. It's like, hey, this guy has a tendency to do this. This guy's, he's just not reading anything, and I can't believe that there's no changes to who he is as a player. Still, like, he attacks the same way. He lands the same way. Most people get stronger or bigger, and their shots change. Nothing changed with him. He is the same player. He had blonde hair for a little bit. Now he doesn't. That was the only thing that changed was his hair.
All right, you guys are both haters. Here's the thing. Murray, if he just played like we last saw him, we'd say stock report up because he's coming back from injury. Michael Porter has only played 2 preseason games coming off of a back surgery, and he looks the same? That's an up. Neutral to me is up. Michael Porter's stonk is up. Is he frustrating still? Does he have all those things? Are you guys right about your assessment? Yes, but that's a stonk up. Michael Porter's back. That's great.
Michael Porter's back, and he's the same as ever.
All right, Aaron Gordon.
Stock up. Aaron Gordon's shot looks better to me this year.
Man, he had a 3 tonight that looked really good.
He had
really
that
good.
pull-up mid-range, too, that was smooth. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Aaron Gordon on offense. Defensively, he's been hit or miss, but I'm encouraged by his shot. It just looks like it's steadier, maybe. His form looks steadier, just solid, compact. Yeah, stock up.
Stock up with Aaron Gordon. Like, Aaron Gordon is good in any hood. Like, he could play on any team and play like well. I like how he's getting to the rim and finishing either with a dunk or like a very nice finish.
He's healthy too.
Yeah, he looks healthy, and I really, like you guys already talked about, the shot is good too, and he could, like, you could tell he worked on those type of things.
I love AG, man. I really do. I think, again, we haven't fully gotten to see him in the proper role even tonight, and, not quite the proper role, but I feel really confident in AG doing his job. You told me all the guys, what's your confidence level that they're going to do their job? Jokic, number 1.
Yep.
Aaron Gordon might be number 2.
I agree.
feel like Aaron Gordon might be my number 2. I know he's going to do his job this year. I don't know if he's going to be above that, but I don't think he's going to be below it. KCP.
Stock down. I expected. I don't even know what he excels at. I thought he was a bucket. I really thought he could score.
You
something.
thought KCP was a
He's a
bucket?
3-point shooter.
Yeah, 3-point shooter.
I haven't seen it.
Well,
That's
yeah,
all I'm
yeah.
saying. Like, the things that he was supposed to be. I thought he was like a okay defender also. Like, at least actually
Maybe
good.
we oversold his
I
defense.
thought he was
No
a
way,
good
no
defender.
way, man. This
We
is the
might
thing I'm
have.
telling you, though. I'm concerned about
I
there's
think it's
something
down.
too that everybody's bad defensively here.
I think it's down for me right now. Just because I haven't seen anything. I don't think he sucks. I haven't seen anything where I'm like, he's getting attacked or he can't score or anything like that. It's just kind of like he just is on cruise control at all times, and I don't want him to be that.
I gotta go stock up. I mean, we saw the Nuggets scrimmage in San Diego when we were out there for training camp.
Yeah.
KCP was one of the standouts from the portion of the scrimmage that we saw. Like, the dude hit a couple corner threes. He looked great.
That's true. I'm factoring that in.
Yeah. We were privy to that.
Yeah, we were privy to it. We saw him make threes. Everyone else not seeing it.
I think KCP's I'm still really high on the fit. I still think he's the right 5th option in that starting lineup. I think when Nikola Jokic is on the floor, that's when KCP is really going to excel.
I'll say stock up, but again, it does go back to the scrimmage where he was very, very
We saw
good.
a 12-minute scrimmage, and he hit a couple threes.
None of us
He looked
did.
good.
No
He
one
played
else
some good D.
did. So we don't believe it.
Well, you have to take my word for it. Zeke Naji.
I still got to go stock up. He was my MVP of training camp.
I like that we're going not to games. I guess it is all of this training camp and
Yeah.
preseason.
I thought he was great in the first preseason game, not great tonight. And I'm just so. Did you guys talk about? I don't know if you talked about it on the show yesterday or the day before, but Zeke Naji spoke to the media after practice.
Oh no,
Was that
you caught
yesterday?
that? No, it was Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. So yesterday,
Thank you.
Zeke seems like just a way more confident. He seems way more sure of himself. He just seems way more comfortable in his skin this year, and that was just the impression I got from talking to him. He just seems like he's really confident in himself and his game and the work he put in over the summer, and that's part of the reason I'm buying. That's part of the reason my stock is up on him.
I'm gonna say stock up. Like you said, the confidence is there. I feel like he's getting time to actually play. I really liked how he played in that first game. Like he's scoring every single time. He's being aggressive and trying to dunk the ball and things like that. This game was a little bit different, but I do like the one-on-one defense that that stop he had on Vooch that down low. That was great for me. He stood his ground, made him pass out of it. And he's showing that he is a lot stronger and he's not going to get pushed around and things like that. So I think that if you could do that against a starter and a really skilled starter, you could do that against backups and be fine.
I'm going stock down. Is he right now in the top 10 players? I'm saying, does it appear that if right now that he would be there?
No, I'd say it's DeAndre Jordan.
We expected him to be that. So to me, I have to go stock down. You're right that people have said some good things about him. You're right that there's reason for optimism that it will go up. But at this very moment, I have to say I expected Zeke to be in the rotation. And right at this moment, I'm not sure that he is. And tonight didn't necessarily help his case. So I have to go a little bit down here. Bones Highland.
I gotta go stock down.
Wow.
Yeah, stock down. I hate to do it to Bones, but I've been a little disappointed with him this preseason.
He went 4 of 8 from 3 tonight.
I know, but it's kind of the other aspects of his game.
Yeah, you're right.
Because Bones needs to channel a little bit of his inner Monte Morris when he's running this bench group.
Does he, though? I mean, this is my thing. Do you want Bones to do that, or do you want Bones to be Bones and to find another solution?
I think Bones can still be Bones while doing some of that.
Man, that's a lot to ask.
Bones had a couple of these plays tonight, and even in that first game, where he's just driving into the teeth of the defense and is just trying to finish at the rim among the trees. Mm-hmm. And it's plays that you would think a rookie would be making. That's not used to NBA length and size. And he's just kind of I don't know. I still think he's going to be great this season. I definitely think he's a better player now than he was last year. He just hasn't shown it yet, I don't think.
Down for me. Really, I think it's just because
we're down. We're kind of down, guys.
Well, they're 0-2.
Yeah.
Defense has been terrible.
And Murray and Jokic have both gotten hurt.
Yeah,
You're right. You know what? It hasn't been great.
The way that he's running the offense, I just feel like he's forceful in the wrong ways. Really, yeah. That left hand, trying to throw it up when he didn't have to, reset the play, and just play in a different way. Also, I feel like he gets stuck under the rim every time and tries to pass it out, and guys are just just grabbing it. And it's as a point guard that's leading the offense, you don't have to make those type of passes, or you don't have to force those type of plays, because it's not he's getting guys open with those, and also they're just stealing it every single time. So I feel like the game should just come to him, and if he is going to be a person that's just attacking, it should be to score. Don't attack to make the extra pass, because that's not the type of player that he is. So the positive thing is I think that now is where you learn that you can't make those passes in preseason. You learn that guys are too fast, too skilled to even make, for you to think that. So I think that it's a learning process, but it's why are you thinking that you can do that in the first place?
I'm going to go stock down, and it's just a slight down. I believe in Bones. I'm buying the stock. I'm depressing the stock to buy more.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. But I do have to say that he got benched in the first game and whatever. This one he did the thing that I feel very confident that he can do, and I do think that's his role. That's what I kind of want him to do. The second unit as a whole is just down, and so I'm going to have to knock him a little bit.
Yeah.
I suspect that of all the guys we've talked about that I've given a downgrade, I suspect he will be up by the end of this. I agree. I think this is like a down that's already like on the way up. But I just have to do it. And it was, by the way, it was up by everything we heard in training camp. Like by all accounts, if I do factor in that the scrimmage, I might have to go up. You know what? F it. I'm going neutral. He's neutral, but he's going to be up by the end of next week. Let's just race through a couple more here, guys. Super, super quickly because we don't care that much. Jeff Green.
Meh.
I don't remember him playing it.
Right.
He had an almost dunk.
Jeff Green.
Right. Bruce Brown. This one's more important. Bruce Brown.
Down for me. Like, I feel like Bruce Brown is unsure of how he's supposed to play with that bench unit right now. He's trying to find himself almost.
Yeah.
I don't know what I expected of him. I just felt like it should have been more, so I'm down. I don't think that I expected him to score, so he doesn't have to score. I just wanted him to be more of an impact defensively where he's being like at least the anchor for the second unit. So I have to be down on him. Also, through 2 games, they're 0-2. Is he going to be a leader, or is he going to say something about like that's on me, or I have to, try to push guys in different ways? I just hope that there's something to the fact that they like gave up 131 and he's the defensive guy that they brought in. So be upset about it, or discuss it or something.
All right, last one. I'll go down as well, but a part of this, again, so early, the new guys in particular, it's like give them a little some grace here. Last one, Michael Malone. I'll go first. I'm going to go down, and I'm not going to go big down, but I do want to split a baseline here. Michael Malone has harped on wanting to get better defenders in here. He's harped on this being a great defensive team. We're only 2 preseason games in. I'm not seeing it. To me, this is a year that weirdly the pressure swings to Malone. I don't think he's felt pressure for a long time as the Nuggets head coach. There's been injuries. The team has performed very well. They've been on the steady incline. This is the year where the Nuggets' expectations go through the roof. They're trying to win a championship. The window, is wide open, but the expectations are there. If it's one thing for the Nuggets to not, if they don't reach the heights, they don't win a title this year. But it's another thing if you redo your entire roster to bring defensive guys in and you still can't guard. And again, it's way too early to write that off, but we're doing Stonk report. Stonk down because Michael Malone has to get this team to defend. Yeah. Or maybe he might be part of the problem.
I say stock down as well. For the same things that you said, but call a guy out, man. Like, just I like the fact that he benched Bones, like to just try to get him to go in a different way. Yeah. And you've seen that bounce back. But defense is where you really have to make that change, because that was what the offseason was about. That's what you discussed. I know we keep talking about this top five. First off, that's very difficult to get to. But, like, if you're striving for it, then at least, make decisions to do that. Do your rage timeouts, but put in a different group. That's going to be all defense. Like, prove a point early on and make some type of changes. And right now I just haven't seen that. And they're just, like, out there going. But I'm expecting that there was a very angry Malone tonight, or at least should have been.
I would not have wanted to be in that locker room. Here's the thing about the Nuggets defense. They've brought in better defenders. They're still running the same defensive scheme as they ran last year. I'm curious to see how it works. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? I don't know. Through 2 games, it hasn't worked. So we'll see.
We got clip here of Michael Porter and Bones Highland. You can see the quote here on the top. Oh, wait, that's not the right one, is it? Is that the one I sent you? Go to a different Katie Wingy one. She's got one there about the connection is just there. I had a theory. Remember my theory in the offseason that I had postulated? That Michael Porter, that Bones, the brightest timeline involves Bones Highland unlocking Michael Porter. Uh-huh. We haven't seen that stagger, by the way. We haven't seen Michael Porter there. And by the way, this is another Maloneism. It's preseason. Again, we'll see how things change. Still doing the 5-man bench lineup, 5-man starters, and there's like very little staggering. And
there's
over there.
No staggering.
I mean, there's stagger as in like one comes in for
like
two,
a possession.
For like 2 minutes, and then it's fully gone. But I will say that I do think there is. I want to see these 2 guys together. I don't think they have a connection. This is what's funny. We've never seen these guys play together. I've never seen them on the court together.
The connection is just there.
The connection
What
is there.
Is that? Is that the Hooper connection?
And then MPJ says, "Whoa, look at it. We understand each other. We understand the tough shots that we can make and shoot." Play the clip because I got to hear it and then make it so he can hear
Who is he?
Tougher to guard. You got numerous guys who can spread the floor and also shoot and drive. But like, his time will come with that. Being able to play, with Mike and the other guys where we'd be more dynamic on the floor. But I just feel like the connection just there. Like I know, like when to kick the Mike, and he knowing like if it's not there, you hand it back, play out the screen. He spread out to the 4-point line. It's just make it more tougher to guard. You got so many dynamic scorers out there. Sorry.
I mean, as soon as he came out, the second time I said, man, we got to figure out a way to get us on the floor together because the type of game we play, the shots we shoot, we understand each other. We understand the tough shots that we can make and shoot. So it just makes it easier to play with each other. You know what I mean? So we said it tonight on the bench. We were talking to each other.
I think after the first game, you said.
Okay, that's an interesting quote. I mean, we're not going to read into this too much, but I do think there's something to look. I've said that Jokic ball is great. I do think you need some other things. The bench needs some scoring, needs some spacing, needs some secondary creation. To me, I would love to see MPJ there. Mm-hmm. And while I don't love the idea of, let's just take tough shots. Those are two really good tough shot makers, and I wouldn't mind, especially the second unit that already looks a little clunky. I just wouldn't mind seeing them go there and playing a little bit that way. So an interesting quote, maybe an illuminating one, but one that I don't think you could read a negative into that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to look at that and say, you know what? I'd like to see more of it.
It's funny. The one stagger we heard about potentially at training camp was Jamal Murray and Bones Highland.
Right.
They haven't played any minutes together so far. I mean, Murray got hurt tonight, but whatever. Yeah, MPJ with the bench, definitely. I'm here for that for sure.
Yeah. All right, that wraps up Friday show. It was a horrible one to try to watch because of it being on the stream or whatever. Hopefully the future ones will be a little bit cleaner. I think we found a way to get these at the bar, which will make it a little bit easier for us, obviously, to watch and to analyze. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us on a Friday night. Serbian Corner is back tomorrow with the homie Miroslav, the homie Voya. Those guys will be giving you, their perspective, carrying the weekend show. They'll be with us all season long, doing a nice little weekend show, so you guys get a 6th DNVR Nuggets podcast in your podcast feeds. Hope you guys tune in for that. We'll see you guys all on Monday. Nugget Suns.